Welcome home and welcome back. This is Up in Canada. I'm your host, Dominic Raphael. I hail out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is the center of North America. And in the center of North America, we have a load of corporate trucking companies. Ideal because they're located right in the center of North America. Who knew? Over the last few days, I have talked about 4 things that I think I need to get off of my chest. The first was to deal with the narrative. Yesterday was the overreach of government, and today is the outcome. Now, the outcome is yet to be unfolded, but it is unfolding as we speak. But as this is unfolding in Canada, something else is ramping up across the world. Although I don't want to get into that subject at this moment, it may be something for another video one time or another. The outcome that we've found from our government was a sensible one. The outcome to revoke the Measures Act, Emergency Measures Act. I am happy to hear that it was revoked. I don't understand still to this moment, and probably for days to come, why it was invoked in the first place. And many news outlets, and I'm talking the independent news outlets, have been able to enlighten all Canadians. If you were paying attention on YouTube and doing your homework and listening and watching live feeds, you get a sense of the true narrative that took place over the last 4 weeks. So at this moment, I'm glad to hear that the Emergencies Act is no longer active. Although there has been rumor coming out that there are still parts of this act that are in play, including in Ontario. The Premier, Doug Ford, there was a Rebel News piece this morning on his closing and vilifying and destroying of some, I believe it was 39 companies, trucking companies that were involved in the convoy. Freedom Convoy 2022. I haven't researched it myself, so I'm going off of what I've seen. I have come to trust Rebel News far more than I trust the mainstream media, because they've proven time and time again over a 4-week period, if you can believe that, over a 4-week period, Rebel News, True North have proven without a shadow of a doubt that there's true narratives going on. And they're speaking their truths, which then speaks to our truths, which then speaks to the truth of the country. I have started watching the events unfold in the Americas, in the States. There has been confirmed reports that the People's Convoy 2022 in the United States of America has commenced. Videos are starting to come out on YouTube, Rumble TV, or Rumble News, and other outlets. But fewer of the mainstream media again are sitting up and taking notice of the convoy that is on its way to DC. Understandably, this is a combustion, and I use the term loosely, a a combustion of things coming to a head because of the assault on Ukraine by Russia. So that is pretty much taking over the international news and trying to take away the attention of peaceful protesters in the United States and in Canada and to some of the other G5 or G7 countries. So, like I said earlier in this video, there are several outcomes. I have to check my notes there. Several outcomes, because I have to get back on the same subject. Several outcomes that are unraveling with the Canadian version of the Freedom Convoy 2022. As days and weeks to come, the unveiling of the American People's Convoy, Freedom Convoy 2022, happening in the United States. From my perspective, we are in a very trying time right now, not only as a national emergencies that have come and gone and are still ongoing, but planetary emergencies that are starting to unfold. So I guess in closing, I think it is really helpful to know that the right decision was made to quash the Emergencies Act in Canada. But take note that as most people think and believe, and I instinctually believe that they're not far off on their thoughts and their insight, it is just the beginning. Holding to account the true events that have happened in the past. That will always be my main goal, is to keep true to the true events of the past. So, as a new YouTube, what are we called nowadays? We're called activists, we're called movements, we're called a lot of things. I need to hold true to what I thought and believe in. And this is not something that just out of some recent event that came into light. It's always been the way I think and feel. And I've experienced many trials and tribulations along the way. And if someone cannot learn from their trials and tribulations and their truths and also their accomplishments, then you shouldn't be talking on YouTube, really. Or Facebook, for that matter, because too much of the social platforms of today are demonizing people just out of spite. And that's not right. That's very wrong. So I'm going to continue on with my 4-part series. This here is the outcome video for the Freedom's Convoy of Canada 2022. And my final video for this 4-part series is going to be economics. I'm not an economic expert. But I'm not an idiot. I can see the effects of our economic future just because I'm involved with it. Like everyone else in this world is involved with it. They have some part to play in it, and they continue to play in it. I just want to make a point too that I was at the bank the other day, and much to my surprise, and then again not to my surprise, because of the infiltration of personal data that seems to be on the agenda of pretty much every radical group and government that happens to be out there, including um, our trusted companies and social directions or our social structure. The other day I was at the bank, and I was actually feeling relieved when I witnessed at our bank, it was, I think there's about 8 tellers, and every one of those tellers was busy with someone. And in that moment I was there, which was probably less than 5 minutes, all I could see was tellers counting out cash, because people are starting to wake up to the threats that are trying to take away our existence, make us dependent on other institutions and more governmental institutions, and to try and quash the way we have known our life and operations of our life through our purchases of products, our purchases of the oil and gas products that are pretty much trillions and trillions of dollars a year across the world. And I have seen and witnessed a lot of people pulling their assets away from the control of third parties, either through digital currency, and that's probably why the government of Canada wants to try and, get their foot in the door on that one and try and protect their control and their occupation of our financial institution. But the majority of people, and the majority that I have witnessed in watching YouTube, and I'm not easily convinced by YouTube at every glance, because I've actually looked at videos that I've seen weeks before, and it's just somebody copying and pasting to their own YouTube to try and make them more popular than the last person's YouTube video. And a perfect example of that is when we had the issue with the stampeding of people, 2 people, 1 woman, 1 man, and we still haven't found out what's going on with the man. Actually, he can't be found anywhere. There was rumors that he suffered from a fate of death because of it. We can't confirm that. I can't confirm that. I'm just gonna, if there's somebody out there that can bring into light what happened to this gentleman, then I'm sure a lot of people would like to know. As for the Mohawk elder, she, from what I've seen in some of her own interviews, she's doing better. But my point being is that there was that still picture of the topographical look on the horse, pretty much stomping, or its rear hoof, over the gentleman's head, which we don't know if he was crushed or not. We don't know this. But I got a still picture of that, and I put it on a 1:13 video. And I was rushing through trying to put some audio to it and put a little bit of other background music, or not music, but background, something to catch the attention of somebody else anyways. And within minutes, and I'm saying minutes, although the video did not turn out well at all, and it actually my vocals for it were actually muted, and I don't know what happened there. But needless to say, my point being is that that picture, that image, brought the attention of 117 people or views within a couple of minutes, where I have had months and months of conversations with some of my series, Cloak and Dagger, and Changes Are Coming, and some of it is like more on a personal basis, but more I wanted to engage in conversation with others who've had 0 views. So it just goes to show you what impacts a person's thoughts and triggers their interest when it comes to something as horrific as that picture. And I'm sure it's going to circulate for many, 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 many years to come. Now, getting back on the subject of the outcome of this entire Emergencies Act. Now, many people have, and many streaming networks have basically shown that everything up in Ottawa has been dissolved. There's no trucks, there's no people, there's still police presence. There's no news or journalists let in. As a matter of fact, I don't even think that a lot of the companies and businesses in Ottawa were even open at the time when, like even before the convoy started planting their protest there. But that's neither here nor there. Long story short, because this video is getting to be more than 10 minutes, and you only have the attention of a person for about 5. The outcome I'm happy with, but it's not the end of the outcome, because there's too much unfolding and too much that is going to be unraveled over the next 6 to 10 months or even longer, because somebody has to be held accountable on both sides, apparently, according to news, and to according to police, and according to laws, not outlaws, government and other institutions. They want accountability. The people want accountability. People want their lives back. People want their freedoms back, and the people want other people to step back and get off my lawn. Really, get off my lawn. Because unless you're invited, you shouldn't be there. So, from up in Canada, I'm your host, Dominic Raphael, and the doctor is signing out. So, tune in tomorrow when I rant and rave about the last of this 4-part series, which is economics. So, cheers.